everybody, it's KayBeast, and for this week's video I'm going to do another sketchbook tour. This is sketchbook number 8. I worked on this sketchbook from July of 2006 through 2007. Not sure what month 2007, I don't think I wrote it down. But I was 18 and 19 when I worked on this. So this is just out of high school through my first semester of college, and then when I moved from Lowell to Athol is what it looks like. So this is a larger one. Still has the price sticker on it, but I honestly can't remember where I got it. But yeah, so I imagine this is going to be very similar to all the previous sketchbooks before. I did draw a lot of the exact same stuff for a long time, so I'm predicting a lot of my OCs, dragons, and random girls in random outfits. So we'll see just how accurate I was, but I haven't actually looked at this. But, you know, judging how I was, goodness, 10 years ago? Yeah, 10 to 12 years ago. It's probably what's in here. So, let's take a look. This is a mix of both, OCs and dragons, for the fantasy story that I wanted to write, which I still do, but it's not the way that I did 12 years ago. I want to do something unique with it. It was going to be like traditional high fantasy, but I want to do something different. And I think I came up with the idea for that story right at the end of high school, so it was fresh in my mind. So I probably draw these characters a lot more than my vampire story. So, pose study of some kind. Definitely got this from a manga, because my poses were not that good, so I definitely took this from a source and I was practicing. This is another one I didn't finish. I don't know if this was from reference or not. Probably was, most likely. Okay, well, Lord of the Rings fan art. There might have been a bit of reference used for this. It's the scene with the Witch King of Angmar and Eowyn, and I definitely want to do like good Lord of the Rings fan art. Like, it's definitely something I'm interested in doing. So I might have to go back to that. Like, this could be a fun scene to do in watercolor. I just would have to do a lot more research and anatomy practice and stuff. But I mean, you know, I got a horse laying down, I got her, and I definitely had reference for this. So this isn't terrible, and I might revisit this for a painting sometime, this particular scene, because it's a scene I've always really enjoyed. So, yeah. Dragon head, didn't finish. I was horrible about finishing paper, obviously. I don't think I got better about that until, oh gosh, maybe 2 years ago. I was bad about it for a very long time. I'm still kind of bad about it. Lots of unfinished sketches. I don't know where these were going. None of these look like any of my OCs, so I guess I was just bored one day and doodling. That happened a lot too. Is the paper stuck? Yes. Take it back. Unfinished dragon. I was getting a little more creative with using cross-hatching and trying out different shading techniques, though I was definitely attempting to do that around this time. So, I don't know. I don't think this is an OC. I think this might just be an amalgamation of a lot of different things I liked at the time, I think. I'm not really sure who this is. But, yeah. It's the exact same dragon face, and I was like, I'm going to do a different body this time. Didn't finish it. Oh, big piece of paper. Werewolf, I'm guessing? Never finished it. OCs. Well, this is random. So. I never finished that, but I'm thinking that might have been one of my OCs. One of my OCs and some dresses I found in a magazine. My mom got a lot of pagan magazines that had like clothes and like witchy things in there, and I like to draw the outfits. So I'm pretty sure that's what that is. Cat studies, I guess? I don't really, yeah. I don't know if any of these are from reference, just more random doodles. That's an OC. And that's another OC. Again, I did like, I'm going to do a character sheet, and then I never finish it, but I start like a billion of them. 6. I was going to start another one. I was like, yeah, never mind. OC from the fantasy story. I think I was going to start doing that. Another OC. I never gave her arms. I stopped right here. It's the weirdest thing. Pose studies from Tsubasa. I was really into the manga at the time. I still really enjoy that manga. But I was heavily influenced by the art style with my characters at the time. So, probably one of my OCs. Looks like one of them. This was definitely inspired by, what's that manga's name? Demon Diary. I had a couple volumes of that. I think this was inspired by that. The hairstyle looks like it might be. I never finished that, but something tells me it might have been one of my OCs again. Kind of looks like it. That outfit does anyway. I don't know. Again, OCs. Another character sheet, just figuring out what she looks like. I don't even think she looks like that anymore anyway. OCs from a different story. Dragons, you know, seeing a theme here? I am. I never finished that. I think that was inspired by something. I can't remember what. Never finished that. But I think that was again one of my OCs. Just more random doodles. Yeah, it's pretty much basically the same stuff. Hey look, I bet you that was going to be a dragon. And this time I actually did something good. I fleshed out what the body would be and the pose would be before going in with details. I never actually did the details, but I had a bad habit of just drawing the head in full detail and then never doing anything else. So in this case, I was actually trying to figure out a pose. So that's definitely better. A better way to start things. I just never actually finished it. Hey look, I think I was attempting to redo it on this page, but the exact same thing. Drew the head in super detail, never went any further. A cat floating in this lady's head. Yeah, I don't know. Another dragon. Diamond. I drew diamond in there. That's my boa. And a bunch of other random stuff. A lot of really creepy stuff. Maybe I was watching horror movies at the time. This might have been on Halloween. I don't know. It's my OC again. I was playing around with expressions, definitely inspired by manga. Like this one is freaking hilarious. I don't know where I saw that, but I definitely copied that from something. Not an OC, just something random. I know. I was watching a lot of Naruto at the time. That's why. Yeah. So I was like making like my own ninja character, I think. But I was watching Naruto at the time, so I think that's what this was inspired by. My OCs. Pose studies or something? I'm not sure. I never finished them. Hey, look at that, a character sheet. And I had some notes about the story in here. So I typically type all my notes up, but I was probably like out and about and had some ideas and wanted to write them down. Random girl. Random girl, but I was attempting to draw a profile in semi-realism. So, and I wrote notes like how can I make it better. And I still actually like how this turned out. The way I draw profiles now is actually still kind of similar to that. So that's pretty cool that stayed fairly consistent. I mean, I draw torsos way better. They're not as like exaggeratedly long, but yeah, no, I was definitely trying to do semi-realism, which is something that I still do now with the faces. So that's kind of cool. Yay, I actually finished a dragon drawing this time. Yay! I think I used the dragon heart model to inspire this, because it definitely looks like that. Werewolf, random sword person, diamond again! He might have been really cute this time, and I had to doodle him. So he's always cute. Random girl, griffin, OC, maybe? No. I don't know. Might be just a random girl. I don't recognize this character, so it may not be an OC. I have no idea. Random goth girls. I drew those a lot. Character notes, character study for the fantasy story that I was writing. Again, I really do want to work on that some more. I just, pretty sure I'm going to take it in a completely new direction in terms of style. So, yeah, I need to work on my other ones before I do this one. This one is the least amount of work done on it. But I was going to invent like a lizard race for it, so I was trying to flesh them out too, and which I still think could be kind of cool for it, but one thing at a time, Karen, one thing at a time. You have like a billion stories and you haven't finished one yet. But yeah, I was doing like this lizard race, and I was trying to figure out what the males and the females and the baby would like. That's kind of cute. Yeah. I was trying to invent like creatures that would live in this area, and I was definitely inspired by like Final Fantasy and stuff. Like, you know, what their homes would like. Yeah. Definitely want to touch on it again. It's just, whew, this one would need a lot of work. Because it's one thing when you have like an urban fantasy that's set in like areas that you already live in, but this one I would want to invent like an entire world, and oh my god, that would take forever. But, you know, I was inventing animals and stuff, so that was kind of fun. I should do more of that. Dragon again. This time flying. OCs from the fantasy story, and I guess trying out different outfit ideas that would fit it. So, and yep, characters from the fantasy story again. These were from Tsubasa. I was doing facial studies because I liked, and this was from Negiba. I liked how they drew the faces in some of these. I was trying to like, because I was trying to invent male characters and I wasn't good at drawing guys, so I was looking at male characters from manga that I liked and try like, okay, how do they draw a face? You know, griffins. More mythical creatures. It's Manticore, I think. Mummy 2, Cerberus. Yeah, I need to do more mythical creature stuff. Hey, it's another dragon type figure. This one was very loose. I drew Dwayne. That's my older brother. He's autistic, and he's 2 years older than me, and we were kind of hanging out in the living room, and I was bored and doodling, and he was just sitting there watching TV, or well, probably watching my little brother play a game, and I was like, hey Dwayne, you want to hold still? I'll draw you. And he held perfectly still, and I doodled him, and then he came over, and he looked over at the paper, and he was like, oh my god, like he lost his mind. He was like, it's me. I'm like, yeah, Dwayne, I drew. And he went, oh. He loved it. Dwayne's always liked it when I draw him. So, and sometimes he'll see me with a sketchbook now, and he'll just come over and sit down. He'll go, draw me, and he'll point to himself and just sit there and hold perfectly still. I'm like, okay, Dwayne. So, he's a goof. Dwayne's awesome. Women's clothes. I don't know if all of these were from the magazines my mom had, or if I looked online for reference, but I was just doing clothing studies. Probably for my fantasy story. I probably wanted something that looked, you know, like it actually existed, not just out of my head. Yep, and I was drawing some men's clothes from some of them, trying to figure out what, I guess, characters would wear. Weapons references, swords and stuff. I think I got these from a book. A friend, somebody had like a book that was like an encyclopedia of weapons. It's like old swords and knives and pistols and stuff that are like older. And I think I borrowed it. Like I went over and I was like, oh, I'm doing a story or something, and I borrowed it and I used it for reference. I may still have that book actually. I can't remember. I don't know if I ever gave it back. It's been like 10 years. The sad thing is I can't even remember which friend loaned it to me. That's kind of sad. I don't think they remember either. My characters, and again, I guess I took what I learned and made their outfits, but probably still going to do a different style. This is a cockatrice. It's basically a basilisk, but I tend to in my head do cockatrice and basilisk as separate creatures, even though they're basically the same one. And basilisk is being more serpent-like, and cockatrice is being like a mix of chicken and serpent, which is what some of the myths talk about as well. So I was doing the other one, the one that's less common, because I thought it would be fun. So it was fun to draw. Yep, and there it is again. And I definitely use reference for this. I have the Spiderwick Chronicles illustrated guide or whatever, and there's a cockatrice in there, and I was using that as reference and stuff, because the book is amazing. I highly recommend it. More dragon studies and little dragons. I guess trying different poses and stuff. No idea what that was going to be, but more griffins. Bunch of random stuff. Just a bit of mix of everything. It looks like a snake, wings, random people. Yeah. I don't know what that... I just never gave up completely on this one, apparently. One of my OCs from a fantasy story. I kind of redid her design a little. Fantasy story OC. Urban fantasy OC. It's my vampire story OC. There's a werewolf in it, so... Yep, more OCs. I guess I just, you know, got bored of doing the second story, and I was like, I'm going to go back and draw the first story characters again. This was a toy plastic gun that my brother had, and I had a character I wanted her to use like a weapon, and I was like, I'm just going to draw this and see if I like it. I wound up discarding it. It didn't really fit the style, but OCs again. At least that is... yep, gun reference. I was like, okay, well, how do you draw a gun if I'm going to have a character using a gun? So, OC again. I never actually finished that, so I don't know what that was going to be. Random girl. Random dragon lady? I was doing that a lot. Yeah, I was gonna make like an avatar for myself that was like this dragon lady, and it was gonna be like my persona online or something like that, but I never went through with that. My old art name online used to be Ruhime, which is Japanese for dragon princess. But I changed that. I was like, yeah, no, I'm not in high school anymore. But I was actually gonna draw that, so I was designing it for a while. OCs again. Same OCs again. Manticore, never finished that, but I was playing with the idea. I'd probably make it way more interesting this time. It's supposed to be like a lion-esque creature with like a barbed scorpion tail, but I would probably make it way more inventive than just slapping a tail on it, so. Like this, I guess? Not sure what that's supposed to be, but I think it's definitely inspired by that. I don't know. Random girl, I guess I felt like drawing a hairstyle, I guess. The lizard people again. Probably was gonna be a griffin, never finished it. Random girl. Random spooky things. Might have been loosely inspired by Kingdom Hearts. I was trying to come up with like some sort of like demon-y kind of creature for my fantasy story, and I think Kingdom Hearts was something that I was inspired by, but I don't think it went anywhere. I don't think I'm still going to use that. Yeah, here's more of them. This also studies from Tsubasa, because they had those in one of the worlds they went. There were the demon characters, the Oni, and I was referencing those because I thought the idea of like these demon characters would be cool. So, and I was like, oh, it could be like the monsters in the story, but I don't even think I'm going to do that anymore. OCs again from a different story, and then just like completely. Okay, so this is actually the second time that I'm recording this section. I went to go edit this video, and apparently on this page my camera gave out and I never noticed. So I don't know if it was the battery or I ran out of time, but I didn't notice until I started editing. So whoops. I was also up to about 18 minutes of footage, but we're near the end, so I'm going to try to keep this as brief as I can, but yeah, whoopsie. Anyway, this is another page of OCs, it looks like. Fantasy story, and this isn't an OC, but, you know, still working on the fantasy story. This is another random girl. Just trying out fun clothes to draw, I guess. This one, I was going to do a belly dancer piece. I think it was for a friend, actually. Because I do remember drawing one for a friend, so I might have been doing some studies. These are OCs again, another lineup that I like to do. Or that I liked to do. I still do that, really. More OCs. And yeah, that was it. I only had 3 pages left, but I guess my camera just gave out on me when I was recording it the first time. But that's okay. Anyway, I guess that does it for this week's video. It's a good thing that I'm actually redoing this clip because I have an update since the last time I worked on this. I just got a day job. By the time this video goes up, I'll have already been working for about 2 weeks. So I'm ahead of myself in terms of recording art videos. I have clips recorded through all of the videos for this month. I'm finishing up the last one today. So I'll have 3 videos completed ahead of time by the time I start working, which is good. That should keep me posting regularly. But yeah, I am starting a part-time job, so if updates wind up falling behind, that's why. But like I said, I am ahead of myself right now, and hopefully I should be able to keep up with that. But I will let you guys know on Twitter or in future videos if anything changes. But yeah, so that does it for this week's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye!